Fair warning, this video is going to assume that you have watched and understood my previous videos on overhead slams. If you want to enter the running to win the skin that I'm giving away, I really recommend you watch that first. If you haven't seen it, this video is probably going to do nothing but confuse you. Alright, with that little disclaimer out of the way, let's get into the video. I am deeply confused. This is like my third take of this video. I'm just trying to articulate why I'm confused, and I'm confusing myself even more. Let me just show you what's confusing me. It goes a little something like this. I feel like I should have an overhead slam at the end of that, but I've got punches. Now, I'm going to do my best to articulate why I think I should have an overhead slam at the end of that, because I want you guys to understand this problem, because I'm giving away a free skin to the first person who can figure out why I'm not getting an overhead slam at the end of that. Alright, if you're here for the skin, this is essentially a race against everyone else who is here for the skin. So here's just the question that I want answered with zero context. My question is, why does this give you an overhead, while this doesn't? Now, I've made a couple of videos sort of explaining the rules behind overhead slams. I'll try and sort of distill it down to the ones that are most relevant, but if you haven't seen those, watching those can only help. The first little piece of evidence I would like to bring to your attention as to why this is such a confusing matter is going to be this little maneuver here. If you're not already aware, let me sort of explain what's going on here. Normally, when you use get over here targeting, you lose any overhead slams that you've got. I had a swing overhead there. I lost it when I used get over here targeting. You can circumvent this if your swing is still active while you use get over here targeting. That means that little swing icon down the bottom is yellow. If that's still yellow while you use get over here targeting, sort of the order of operations of the game works that get over here targeting tries to take away your overhead first, then the ending of the swing gives you the overhead. So you preserve it through get over here targeting. You can either do that like I just did, where you are mid-swing, or you can get it by doing a web whiff. Because a normal swing, the second it stops being held on the wall, your icon goes from yellow back to white, your swing ends. But a swing whiff stays yellow for a little bit longer. It stays yellow the entire time that the web is trying to figure out if it's ever going to connect to something. That little delay is the reason why you can start up a punch before you get your overhead in the unique 3-hit. And it's also the reason why you can sort of take a moment of pause between your swing and your get over here targeting while keeping your swing overhead. There is one more way to preserve an overhead through get over here targeting, which is if you have both a swing and a jump overhead, you keep one of them. Specifically, you keep the jump overhead, and I know it's the jump overhead that you keep because if you use an uppercut, you lose it. This tells me that the game code for get over here targeting probably looks something like this. If you have a swing overhead, remove it. Else, if you have a jump overhead, remove that. This would be a pretty natural way to write it, but it does have the edge case where if you have both, it only clears the swing overhead and doesn't execute the second block. You'll notice I've been doing this against the airborne target because it's slightly more complicated against grounded targets because you land before you get to start up the overhead. So in order to get this to work against grounded targets, you're going to have to swing up above them so that their body blocks you from hitting the ground. All of that is to say, you can preserve an overhead on a grounded target like this. Now there is one weirdness with the web whiff, which was the subject of my last video on all of this overhead nonsense, where if you have a double jump overhead when the whiff ends, it won't give you the swing overhead that it normally does. So if I double jump, then whiff, you'll notice I get 2 overheads, but that's only because when my whiff ended, I had already used up my double jump overhead. I was in the process of doing it, so it did award the whiff overhead. If I were to wait just a little bit longer before doing that first overhead, I only get the 1. Now, was that the jump overhead or the swing overhead? There's a pretty easy way to test this, and that's just going to be to use an uppercut. An uppercut will clear a double jump overhead because it refunds your double jump, but an uppercut will not clear a swing overhead. So if I double jump, whiff, wait for it to end, yeah, you see that it must be a jump overhead that I'm left with, which means that a swing whiff only pays out a swing overhead if you don't have a jump overhead. It's really weird, but that's just how it works. Do you need to know all of this? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know because I don't know the solution to the problem that I'm posing. And the reason I'm sort of explaining my whole train of thought and how I got to these conclusions is maybe these conclusions that I'm working from are wrong. There's obviously a mistake in my logic somewhere, so I'm just trying to sort of break down all of the working as to how I got here so that you guys can find it as easy as possible. So if having a jump overhead stops the swing whiff overhead payout, does that mean that doing a double jump, swing whiff, get over here targeting doesn't give you the overhead? No, you can still get it. So let's slow this down. Order of operations of what the game just did there. We double jump to get a jump overhead, swing whiff, and cancel that with get over here targeting. This runs a few checks. First it checks, do we have a swing overhead? No, we do not. So then it checks, do we have a jump overhead? Yes, we do, so it's going to take that away. Then it causes our current swing to end, which awards us a swing overhead, which we preserve throughout get over here targeting. Is this getting ridiculously complicated? Yes. That's why I'm so confused, and that's why I need your help, and that's why you guys are getting like a $20 skin potentially if you guys solve this. If we string this all together on a grounded target, we get something like this. And since that was a swing overhead at the end there, we should be able to insert an uppercut. What? Honestly, this shouldn't have confused me. I forgot at the time that if you have both overheads, you keep one of them. But this did lead me to do some further testing, which revealed an interaction which is genuinely difficult to explain. So what does that mean? That means that So, I'm going to swing, clear my swing overhead, jump, clear that, whiff, and I keep it. But if I swing, clear that, uppercut, I lose it. So it's still a jump. How do I still have a jump overhead? No, like, am I going crazy? Why is it? I cleared my jump overhead. Hold on. I'm just butting it in post to explain what's going on here. So I'm double jumping to get a double jump overhead, clearing that overhead by using it, then doing a swing whiff into get over here targeting with the intention that I should preserve the swing overhead like we saw before. And I do preserve an overhead, but if I uppercut, I don't preserve the overhead, which tells me that the overhead that I'm preserving is a double jump overhead. But that doesn't make sense, because I already burned the double jump overhead earlier. This is incomprehensible to me. If I never double jumped, then of course, yeah, it's a swing overhead. So, okay. That settles it. The version of the question I want an answer to is why does this work while this doesn't? So if you can answer why this get over here targeting chooses to preserve a jump overhead and not a swing overhead, that is the question that I'm looking to have answered. What is the check that the code is running? What is the reward system that gives you a jump overhead when you just cleared it a moment ago? Or is my thinking completely wrong? Do I need to sort of restructure one of the premises I laid out earlier in the video? I should probably mention those overhead indicators at the top of the screen. They've been 100% accurate throughout the whole video, even when what I was saying was wrong. There's probably going to be some comments that are like, he said swing overhead, but the indicator says jump overhead. Editing. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. I don't want anyone to correct them. I just want you to reply, those who know. I mean, while you're down there, you may as well smash that like button and smash that subscribe button. Now, if you think you've figured it out and you'd like to submit an explanation for a chance to win the prize, go to the Google form listed in the description. The form will ask you for a few things. Obviously, it's going to ask you for an explanation of the tech. It's also going to ask you for your in-game name. This is the account that I'm going to gift the skin to if you win. And finally, it's going to ask you what skin you would like to receive if you are chosen as the winner. Now, you can only gift items to friends in Marvel Rivals. So if you win, I'm going to have to send you a friend request, which I will do from my main account, EvilDuck14. Once you accept that, I'll be able to send you the skin. I'm not going to ask you for any more personal or account information. If anyone asks you for that sort of information, do not give it to them. It is probably someone trying to scam you, and you should treat them as such. When it comes to actually choosing the winner, this is going to be entirely at my discretion. Since I don't have a copy of the game code, there's no way for me to be 100% sure if your answer is correct or not. So there might be multiple different explanations which are both possible. I will be choosing the explanation which I think is the most likely to be true true. So if you don't win, that doesn't mean I think your explanation is necessarily bad. It just means that the winner either approached it from a different angle, which I think is more likely to be correct, or someone answered essentially the same thing but first. Now I'm wondering to myself, because the only I've uncovered one piece of new information just now. I'm not going to reveal it right away. If no one uncovers this information within, I don't know, probably like 24 hours, I'll post a short sort of teasing what I figured out. I still haven't ironed out all of the wrinkles, so there is still work to be done. But yeah, I'm going to gatekeep this last bit of information for now. If no one solved it in 24 hours, come back. There'll be a new update. I'll let you guys in on everything. Until then, best of luck figuring this out. Cheers.